Namaste, good evening. Hello, everyone. I thought this evening I would shift gears a little bit. I think that many people don't know that I was one of the first people in the U.S. initiated into the Kali Chakra tradition. And I have a Buddhist name. My Buddhist name is Karma Sonam Wangmo. And Karma Sonam Wangmo means one who dedicates all their actions to the good of humanity. Okay, so I thought I would do a little bit from the Mahamudra and Dzogchen traditions. This one is a very nice teaching, and you'll see that it really goes right in alignment with what I am trying to express to people. What is realization? What takes place when the mind stills? Okay, so this is Tilopas Mahamudra teaching to Naropa. It's in 28 verses. Okay, homage to the 84 Mahasiddhas. Homage to the Mahamudra. Homage to the Vajra Dakini. Okay. Mahamudra cannot be taught. Okay. So it's the same thing, enlightenment cannot be taught. This is not a subject, object, subject matter. Okay. It has to come by direct experience when everything gets blown out. So let's continue forward to see what it says. But most intelligent Naropa, since you have undergone rigorous austerity, or what we in Hinduism we call tapas, if you have done the tapas, and have burned away all this dross, okay, then you can go forward. So let's see what it says. With forbearance in suffering, and with devotion to your guru, blessed one, take this secret instruction to heart. Is space anywhere supported? Upon what does it rest? Like space, Mahamudra is dependent upon nothing. Okay. So when they're talking about space, I talk about, that stillness of mind. And there is, in that clarity, there's nothing that supports it. This clarity that one comes to does not need something else to exist. Okay, so let's see where this goes. Relax and settle in the continuum of unalloyed purity, and your bonds loosening release is certain. So again, it takes unalloyed purity. Somebody was asking me, if you're doing negative things, will you get? No, you won't get it. Unalloyed purity, not stained with something, okay? So gazing intently into empty sky, vision ceases. Okay, when you get to that point of realization, they call empty sky. I call the that stillness, that when you get there to realization, everything deconstructs, and you're not seeing with your eyes. It's not something that one witnesses. You are no longer subject object to witness something. Okay. Likewise, when mind gazes into mind itself. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about. You're sitting and you're watching the mind play. Where do these thoughts come from? Where do they go to? When they're not within your cognition, where did they go? What reality do they have? So this again points to that sitting and looking deeply at what's there. Okay, what's there and what's not. So it says, goes on to say, the train of discursive and conceptual thought ends. Okay? So like I said, the mind stills. There's no more revolving thoughts. All of these things are at an end, and supreme enlightenment is gained. Okay? You're not going to get it when the mind is still raging. Okay? And when one enters into realization, that mind stays at that point still. It's blown out all these concepts that one has had, all these erroneous ideas, all these divisionary things that one has held to for so much time. Okay. Like the morning mist that dissolves into thin air, going nowhere but ceasing to be. Waves of conceptualization, all the mind's creation dissolve when you behold your mind's true nature. Again, it gets blown out. Nibbana, blown out. Okay, it's at an end. In that moment, it's such a jarring thing. The mind is absolutely stilled. Okay, and one goes into that pregnant, what I call the pregnant void. Okay, that light beyond lights. So let's continue forward to see what they're saying in the Mahamudra teaching. Pure space has neither color nor shape. Okay, what I call the pregnant void. Okay, and it cannot be stained either black or white. Okay, again, this is the life of all life, the death of all death. It runs like a thread through all of creation, but it's not touched by any of it. No matter what happens in life, that essence stays and remains pure, untouched by any of the happenings in the Divided realm. Okay. So also, mind's essence is beyond both color and shape, and it cannot be sullied by black or white deeds. Okay? It doesn't mean that one can go out at that point and go out and do these negative things. That's not what it's talking about. Okay? It's talking about, again, that perfection, that clarity remains as it is, untouched by any of the happenings. Okay. The darkness of 1,000 eons is powerless to dim the crystal clarity of the sun's heart. And likewise, eons of samsara have no power to veil the clear light of the mind's essence. They call clear light, I call it the light beyond lights. Okay. Nothing, when one enters that realization, can dim it, can color it, can dispense with it. It's simply there. Okay. Although space has been designated empty, in reality it's inexpressible. Okay, that's why, they say it's empty, but that people think of empty, that it's negated of something, it's missing something. But this is why I call it the pregnant void, because it's not empty. It's pregnant with anything that will ever come into existence. So I think that pregnant void will give the feeling more of what it is than to say empty. Okay. It goes on to say, although the nature of mind is called clear light, its every ascription is baseless verbal fiction. Okay, baseless verbal fiction. Again, nothing that one says can touch this, can define this, can show what it is. Okay, this light beyond lights is something beyond what words can express. It's not a light that one sees, but it's the light of all lights. Okay? It's something that is beyond that. Okay? The mind's original nature is like space. It pervades and embraces all things under the sun. Okay? So I said you can't be separated from it. It's all that exists in the end. Okay. Be still and stay relaxed in genuine ease. Be quiet and let sound reverberate as an echo. Keep your mind silent and watch the ending of all worlds. So I said, everything that one has held in their consciousness deconstructs in that moment. Okay? All the illusion that one has held deconstructs in that moment of realization. And what remains is this pregnant void, this knowing of this grand is, this which powers all of the universe, which is absolute life. It's never born, it's never died. Okay? It's this supreme is, and one understands at that moment why karma is in place. It has to be because of the nature of what this is. Okay. So let's continue to go forward with this. The body is essentially empty, like the stem of a reed. And the mind, like pure space, utterly transcends the world of thought. What does it do? It transcends the world of thought. You have to go beyond the world of thought. Okay. There have been those that have come that, want to dispute this. But this is what takes place, okay? The thought stills. Okay. So relax into your intrinsic nature with neither abandon nor control. Okay, you can't just push it away, nor can you try to cling to it. One has to sit, again, observe, neti. Let things come, let things go. Neti, not this, not this, not this. Whatever comes and leaves cannot be that eternal truth. Okay? Mind with no objective is Mahamudra. And with practice, perfected supreme enlightenment is gained. Okay. The practice of neti can be very strong. Or looking, what is this I? Neti, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. Watching the mind. Again, watching. How do thoughts come? Where do they go to? What happens when they leave your range of what you're seeing? How much reality can they have if they leave and that you no longer are bothered by whatever it is that's coming up? So what gives them life? The only thing that gives them life is your attention to it and feeding it and giving it energy. Okay? So these things all come as one does the practice and things begin to dissolve, things begin to still, that one can start to objectively look at what mind is and more importantly what it's not. Okay. So let's continue forward. The clear light of Mahamudra cannot be revealed by the canonical scriptures, by the scriptures or metaphysical treatises. Of Mantravada, the Paramitas, or the Tripitaka, the clear light is veiled by concepts and ideals. Okay, you're not going to get it no matter how many intellectual discussions you read about it. The words are not it. The words will separate you from what it is. Okay, it is only known, it is only gained when mind stills. Okay, when one quits chasing conceptualized ideas about it. Okay, let's continue forward. By harboring rigid precepts, the true samaya is impaired. Okay, but with cessation of mental activity, again, with cessation of mental activity, all fixed notions subside. Okay. And that's again it, when you have Kundalini active, all of these notions that you've had, all these ideas, all of these dramas that you've played out come in the face to be seen with clarity as to what they are and what they are not. Okay? And as one goes beyond that, again, one goes deeper into their practice. Okay? When the swell of the ocean is at one with its peaceful depths, okay? When mind never strays from intermittent, non-conceptual truth, the unbroken samaya is a light lit in spiritual darkness. Okay, so one has to come to this point of objective seeing, of dispassion, okay, no longer grasping or clinging. The mind is like the waves, like it says, the waves of the ocean, and meditation is like the stillness of the depths. So one stays in the stillness and sees the waves on the top, but one is not moved by those waves. Okay. Free of intellectual conceits, disavowing dogmatic principles, the truth of every school in Scripture is revealed. Okay. The ideas of religiosity, all of these dramas, again, deconstruct. And one gets to the heart of all the spiritual traditions. Okay. Absorbed in Mahamudra, you are free from the prison of samsara, okay, or the divisionary realm. Okay. Poised in Mahamudra, guilt and negativity are consumed. They are no more. Okay. All of these things, again, are deconstructed. All the baggage one had is deconstructed in an instant. And as master of Mahamudra, you are the light of the doctrine. This is why you can go in and you can speak of these texts. Again, you are the light of the doctrine. You are that spiritual pregnant void from which all comes from. Okay, this is what I was trying to explain before. Once you reach enlightenment and that realization, you can look at the texts and see what direction they're pointing to, and you understand exactly where they're going and what is the basis of it. Because the basis of it will be that unchanging is, that perfection, that light of all lights. Okay. The fool in his ignorance, disdaining Mahamudra, knows nothing but struggle in the flood of samsara. Okay. So that's it, these people, they're in Divider realm, and they're chasing mind and chasing this and chasing the drama. Okay. They don't understand this practice of neti, sitting there. They're chasing, looking for cities and powers and dramas, and don't know that they're getting further away from that which they seek, which is realization, moksha, away from that suffering persona. Okay. It says, have compassion for those who suffer constant anxiety. Sick of unrelenting pain and desiring release, adhere to a master, like I was saying today. If you were in that pain, you'll do anything to get out of that ignorance. You're ready at that point for a path, okay? But you've got to stick with it. You can't pick it up, put it down, and play with it. You won't get there that way, okay? For when his blessing touches your heart, the mind is liberated. Okay. Keho, listen with joy. Investment in samsara is futile. It's the cause of every anxiety. Since worldly involvement is pointless, seek the heart of reality. You're just spinning your wheels if you're chasing the things in the Divider realm. Okay? In the transcending of mind's dualities is supreme vision. In a still and silent mind is supreme meditation. In spontaneity is supreme activity. And when all hopes and fears have died, the goal is reached. Again, when everything falls away, everything at that point is spontaneous in nature. If somebody asks a question, the answer comes. That's it. There's no sitting there thinking about it, trying to, when I do these things, I haven't sit here and read it first and thought about it and come up with an explanation. It happens spontaneously. As you see with any of my videos, none of them are cut and pieced together. What I say as it is in that moment, and that's it. Okay? So again, when all hopes and fears have died, the goal is reached. One is no longer, like I said, people ask if I'm excited about this or excited about that. No, it's not part of your reality yet. You don't have hopes, you don't have fears. You don't have something they're pushing away. You don't have something you're clinging to. Okay? Beyond all mental images, the mind is naturally clear. Follow no path to follow the path of the Buddhas. Employ no technique to gain supreme enlightenment. Okay. It means that you cannot follow exactly somebody else's steps. You have to walk your own path. Nobody can do it for you. Okay? Nobody can do it for you. There's not some magic button that's going to open it. Okay? This takes, like I said, you have to walk, you have to go through your own mind and what's there and all the experiences you have had for many lifetimes to come to realization. Okay? Kema, listen with sympathy, with insight to your sorry worldly predicament, realizing that nothing can last, that all is as dreamlike illusion, meaningless illusion provoking frustration and boredom. So turn around and abandon your mundane pursuits. So again, if you want to get to realization, you're going to have to let go of the divider realm and start to go inward, focusing inward. Okay, let's see what it says. Oh, this is again pointing more in that direction. Cut away involvement with your homeland and friends, and meditate alone in a forest or mountain retreat. Exist there in a state of non-meditation, and attaining no attainment, you attain Mahamudra. Okay, so again, I don't say that you have to go to some mountain retreat or in the forest alone. You have to do it right where you are. Wherever you're at, you can watch the mind. You can do the practices, okay? Eventually, you will be in a state of non-meditation. It will be spontaneous. It will be ongoing. It's not something you sit and have to do somewhere, okay? It goes on wherever you are at. Okay, and attaining no attainment, you attain Mahamudra. Okay, when realization, there's nothing to grasp. It's not something that a persona, a me, gets. That me deconstructs and falls away, and all that remains is that reality. So it's not going to happen to an ego that's going to come out and get something. Okay, it's not an experience that a me gets. Again, the me deconstructs, and all that remains at that point is that cognition of that is. Okay. A tree spreads its branches and puts forth leaves, but when its root is cut, its foliage withers. So too, when the root of the mind is severed, the branches of the tree of samsara die. Again, when the mind stills, all this play of the divisionary realm, the mind play, ends. These illusions are dispelled. One is what they term awakened. Okay, when the mind is going, it's like a dream state. Okay, one wakes up. Okay, the mind stills. One can see then, and one wakes up. A single lamp dispels the darkness of 1,000 eons. Likewise, a single flash of the mind's clear light erases eons of karmic conditioning and spiritual blindness. Let me say that again. A single flash of the mind's clear light erases eons of karmic conditioning and spiritual blindness. It happens in an instant. And in that instant, it's all over. Your whole world has changed, and concurrently also, nothing has changed. When one comes out of that samadhi, deep samadhi state, one looks around and sees a divisionary world, but one's no longer caught in its clutches. Now it appears as a dream state. Neither real nor unreal, it just simply is what it is, okay? Kieho, listen with joy. The truth beyond mind cannot be grasped by any faculty of mind. Like I said, you're not going to get it intellectually. Just not going to happen. The meaning of non-action cannot be understood in compulsive activity. To realize the meaning of non-action and beyond mind, cut the mind at its root and rest in naked awareness. Okay. One starts to come to awareness as the mind starts to still. Okay. It's coming into the moment. It's what we call into awareness, into the moment, without layering on all these dramas over it. Okay. Allow the muddy waters of mental activity to clear. Refrain from both positive and negative projection. Okay, like I said, you're not going to layer over it, project in, nor are you going to be caught up in past ruminations, etc. It says, leave appearances alone. The phenomenal world without addition or subtraction is Mahamudra. Without addition or subtraction. This is what I said. You're not projecting out and you're not clinging to these other things, okay? You're just in the moment as it is in reality without layering over anything. Okay. The unborn, omnipresent base dissolves your impulses and delusions. Do not be conceited or calculating, but rest in the unborn essence, and let all conceptions of yourself and the universe melt away. Well, you can't let it all melt away. That sounds as if you're going to do something. Okay. This is why it's called grace. In that moment, it just simply takes place. There's no you to let go of anything at that point. Okay. At that moment, there is only awareness of this essence. This primordial is, pregnant void, which has always been. It's never been born, it's never died. That's the cognition, that's the knowing. It's not an understanding of something, it's absolutely known. Okay. The highest vision opens every gate. The highest meditation plumbs the infinite depths. The highest activity is ungoverned yet decisive, and the highest goal is ordinary, being devoid of hope and fear. At first, your karma is like a river falling through a gorge. In mid-course, it flows like a gentle, meandering river Ganga. And finally, as a river becomes one with the ocean, it ends in consummation like the meeting of mother and son. Okay. So, again, when you have the river and it goes to the ocean, it becomes one with the ocean. It's not separate from that. It just simply is part of that. Okay. If the mind is dull and you're unable to practice these instructions, retaining essential breath and expelling the sap of awareness, practicing fixed gazes, methods of focusing the mind, and discipline yourself until the state of total awareness abides. So you take whatever steps you can to begin to come to a point where you can do the meditation, you can do that observation, you can do that neti, you can do all of these things which take a point of coming into the moment and stilling, okay? And observing. When serving a karma mudra, the pure awareness of bliss and emptiness will arise, composed in a blessed union of insight and means. Slowly send down, retain, and draw back up the bodhicitta, and conducting it to the source, saturate the entire body. But if only lust and attachment are absent, will that awareness arise? Let me say that again. But only if lust and attachment are absent will that awareness arise. Okay. So again, this is why I say, be celibate. And you have to come to dispassion. You have to let go of the things of the world for that time. Okay? If you're focusing on sex and body, where are you at? You're externally focused. Okay? So let's continue forward. Then gaining long life and eternal youth, waxing like the moon, radiant and clear with the strength of a lion, you will quickly gain mundane power and supreme enlightenment. May this pith instruction in Mahamudra remain in the hearts of fortunate beings. Okay, and this is where this ends. Okay. The Dzogchen and the Mahamudra, there are many of the songs, they're called the songs, and they are of non-duality, written by these ones that had entered realization. And some of them are very, very good. They're on an order of, in a way, of the Vivek Chudamani, the Ashtavakra Gita. They are non-dual texts where they're speaking about and pointing, as well as we can point, as well as one can point to it, what is that enlightenment, okay, what's termed enlightenment. At once, it's something wonderful and something ordinary, okay? It doesn't put you on a pedestal because one is enlightened. You've only come to the reality of being, okay? And everyone is that when they get rid of the illusion and delusion they're carrying around. So you're not higher than anything, okay? Just the coverings have been taken off, okay? One has awakened out of the dream, okay? So I'm going to leave this here. I hope you've enjoyed this taste of the Mahamudra type of tradition. Namaste. Have a great evening.